Good morning. It's the final day of the reading rush. So the plan for my day has changed a little bit. Since I spoke with you guys last night, Ryan, my best friend, has called me. He's been planning on visiting for quite some time now, over the last month or so. He said he'd be here sometime in July, but things came up and I thought that he may be coming on Tuesday. However, he did ring last night and say that he's actually coming tomorrow, which means that I have quite a few things to do today because I want to do a quick tidy round, got some washing to do. I also need to do some work because I'm not going to be doing a whole ton of work over the next 3 days. So sadly, I don't think that I'm gonna read that much today. However, it is 8 AM. I did wake up early. I woke up at 7:45. It's now 8:15. So I am going to be starting off my morning a little slow, and I really want to finish Children of the Whales volume 6 before I do anything today. Because it's a manga, it won't take me that long, and then at least I'll have something done today. And then the only other book I'm probably going to get time to read is Good Me Bad Me by Ali Land, but at this point I'm not even sure if I'm going to finish it. We'll see what I get done. I'm not ruling anything out. I have a tendency to kind of pull things around last minute, but it's not looking good for me finishing my actual TBR because it's the final day of the readathon as well. Before I wrap this vlog up tonight, I want to give you my total page count for the readathon and how many books and how many prompts I managed to fulfill and things like that. But for now, I'm going to get on with reading this before I get some stuff done. I haven't made myself a coffee. I'm thinking that I probably should. Hey, I managed to get myself dressed. Honestly, don't think I'm gonna bother with makeup today. It's the last day of the reading rush. Still reading, I'm still vlogging. I feel like anything else is asking just a little bit too much. So it is 10:50 now. I finished Children of the Whales a little while ago. I took some time to get dressed, etc. Also, I spent more time than I should have been scrolling on my phone, which is becoming a problem again. But that is something that I'm hoping to continue to rectify throughout probably the rest of my life, which is just a pain in the arse. But Children of the Whales volume 6, I gave this one 3 stars. Not my favorite installment so far. I am feeling like, you guys know that I am a fan of contemporary manga, and I do really love the art style in here and I really love the concept, but I think that with manga, for me, we could be coming across that is something similar to my opinion on audiobooks, which is, well, it's not even an opinion. I listen to audiobooks occasionally, but I tend to sway towards contemporary and thriller audiobooks because there's less information to take in. When I read fantasy in general, my favorite things are description and world building, things that really build the world, and I like it when authors take a lot of time to think about the details and weave them. Even if it's info dumpy, I just like knowing about this fantasy world, and I feel like the more information you have, the more real it becomes and the more believable the story becomes. So with fantasy manga, a lot of the world building is done through the imagery, and as I said, the art in here is absolutely stunning. However, I'm not an incredibly visual person, so having so much detail in the imagery, I'm not retaining it all. So I think that definitely with manga, like with audiobooks, I sway more towards the contemporary ones. My issue with this one in particular is that I feel like throughout this series the pacing is a little bit off. Volumes are comprised of 4 issues, and I find that in some of the volumes we have quite a lot of action, and in some of the volumes not a lot really happens. So this volume follows a decision that was made at the end of the last volume, and we have a little bit of exploration of the world in here. The people of the Mud Whale are encountering new locations, and this focused on a couple of locations that they encounter on their way to that actual destination. And I just feel like this was one of the slower volumes where not too much is happening. Quite a bit of it was also told in flashback, and with me not being an incredibly visual person, I do sometimes find it difficult to distinguish between the flashbacks and the main timelines and getting all of the information that I need from it to really build the story in my mind. Regardless, I still really enjoy this series. I love a lot of the characters and I love the concept of it. This volume was just not my favorite in the series so far, so 3 stars. Also, this was a gift from Victoria. Thank you so much for sending this to me. This was actually the first Amazon wishlist gift that I ever received outside of like my birthday, so it is a little bit special to me, and thank you so much for sending it my way. So on my Bookopoly Reading Rush TBR, this was down to read a graphic novel or a manga, and if we go off the actual Reading Rush prompts, this was standing to read a book that was inspired by a movie that you've already seen. This doesn't have a movie, it has an anime, and I have watched the first 5 or 6 episodes. So now that this is done, I think I'm going to do a little bit of admin work until lunchtime. I am starting to get hungry because I woke up so early, but there's quite a lot that I want to get done today, as I mentioned. So I'll start with admin work and those niggly things that need doing that take me a while to get to, because I don't know, the smallest tasks I always put off, and the biggest tasks I have no problem doing. So we're gonna get some of those little tasks done, and then I'm going to have my lunch. I'm switching back over now to Good Me Bad Me. Doubt I will finish this today. I think I have 180 pages, although I seem to have taken my bookmark out, so who knows. I think I'm on page 140, but I'm going to read a little bit of this over lunch, and then I want to tidy the living room and the kitchen, and also I might put a wash on now actually, because then it will be done by the time I finish lunch. I also have my first Patreon live show at 8 p.m. We're going to be having a little bit of a chat, and I'm also going to be doing some live reading sprints, I think, if by that time I have the energy to continue to read. But yeah, I'm gonna go and get on with some of that stuff, otherwise this day will never be over.
Looking like it's gonna be a problem, cause I'd be lying to you if I said this ain't a thing and I've been looking for a new one. I keep on waiting for the weekend. Gonna hit you up and tell you that I want you, cause I just wanna feel like this again. Oh, oh, oh. All I wanna do is feel awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All I wanna do is feel awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Baby, can you make me feel awesome? Up and down, side to side, and then back and forth. Up all night again, me and you, left and right, and then whoa, whoa, oh, oh. Up and down, side to side, and then back and forth. Up all night again, me and you, left and right, and then whoa. All I wanna do is feel awesome. All I wanna do is feel awesome. All I wanna do is feel awesome. I'm in an Uber to your place.
Hey, so I'm about to go live for my Patreon live show in just under 10 minutes. I thought I would check in with you guys and just let you know that, as I predicted, I'm not reading a lot today. I've read 20 pages exactly of Good Me Bad Me, so I'm on page 160 now. 100% not finishing this book tonight, which is a pain, but I kind of saw it coming. So yeah, my Patreon live tonight is, I think I mentioned before, it's going to be reading sprints and a chat. However, I'm happy to just let my Patreons decide what happens tonight. If nobody wants to read, then we ain't reading, because quite honestly, I'm extremely tired. I did do the majority of the cleaning that I needed to do earlier, and I have done a little bit of work as well, so I need to just finish up some bits tomorrow and then also get some work done. But I did find out today that Ryan is only arriving tomorrow at like 4 or 5 p.m, so that should be absolutely fine. Hey guys, so we have come to the time of the week where I wrap up my reading rush progress, and you know, I kind of did all right. I obviously didn't do as well as I wanted to, but I did pretty well. I didn't do any reading sprints in my Patreon live. We just had a chat for a while. Honestly, a great time. My patrons, like, I have such a lovely group of people and they're just amazing. So thank you so much to my patrons, and thank you to everybody who was in that live chat as well. So I didn't read any of this, so I'm still on page 160. So I've added up my page count for the reading rush, and I've also worked out what challenges I've completed. So first off, my total page count was 1,360 pages over a week. That's pretty great, because that is more than a third of what I read in an average month. Like, my average page count for a month is 3,500, so that is already more than I would have read in a normal week to start off with. And my average pages per day is 194 pages across this week, which is more than my normal average page count, which is usually at, I think it's around 120 pages per day. I had my best reading month ever in April, and it was 150 pages per day. So once again, still reading more than I normally would have. So for the books that I've read over the course of this week and the prompts, the first thing I did was not read a full book, but I did complete the last 100 pages of The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden. This one was not a book that I planned to read in the reading rush. I didn't have a book for the prompt where the title of the book has to start with the word the, so while I had to finish the first 100 pages, I just decided I would count it for that prompt. The next thing that I read was Dreaming Sun Volume 1 by Ichigo Takano. I really liked this actually, it was really cute, and for the reading rush prompts this would have stood in as a book that I read completely outside of my house. The next one that I read was my favourite book of the readathon, and that was A Strange Hymn by Laura Thalassa, and this one fulfilled the prompt to read a book that is from a genre that I would like to read more from. Then yesterday I finished Vicious by V. Schwab. This one I have in for the prompt to read a book that is set on a different continent from the one that you're on. Nowhere is specifically mentioned in this book, but I am assuming that it is vaguely set in the US. The final book that I managed to complete in its entirety was Children of the World Volume 6, which you guys know I finished this morning, and this one is for the prompt to read a book that inspired a movie that you've already seen. And as I explained this morning, this does not have a movie, but it does have an anime series, and I have watched some of it. And then I read, I think, about 115 pages of this during the reading rush because I was 44 pages into it already. Annoyed that I didn't finish this because this is on my July TBR. It's likely I'm going to have to take a punishment for Bookopoly now because I do not foresee finishing both that and getting a decent way into Assassin's Quest before the end of the month. So this is my completed stack. 5 books in total. Like, I read 2 full books and 2 full manga during the week. 100 pages of that and then 115 pages of Good Me Bad Me. To be honest, not a bad stack, I would say. I think I did pretty well there. I felt like I wasn't making a lot of progress during the readathon, but then you look at this stack and I'm happy with how everything went. Saying that I'm happy with everything when that is just reading wise. This week has not been a great week generally. I do just pretty much have reading rush burnout, which happens every year when daily vlogging. I also feel like the reading rush has not been as exciting as it usually is, just in general. Like, I haven't been getting a vibe of it being this big community event that everybody participates in this year, and I know there has been some stuff surrounding the reading rush. Like, I wasn't completely happy with the prompts this year. I just didn't feel particularly inspired by them, but there has been some other stuff going on and creators just choosing not to participate this year for various reasons. Will I do this again next year? I don't know. We'll see when we get to next year, because like I said, it just doesn't feel like it's been as big of a thing this year as it usually is. I think the lack of video challenges and having vlog challenges instead did contribute to that. Not that I usually do the video challenges, I just enjoyed seeing people incorporating the video challenges into their vlogs every day or just posting video challenges every day. So I think I've definitely missed that aspect of it from a booktube side. It is what it is. I'm happy with my progress anyway, and actually managing to produce 7 daily vlogs. And my favorite thing about the reading rush this year actually has been that it has forced me to be creative with my thumbnails, because my thumbnails previously were in the 4-image format. So now that I've changed the format of my thumbnails, it forced me to think outside the box for my daily vlog thumbnails. Just before I wrap up this vlog, I do have one last booktuber recommendation for you guys, and today I'm going to be recommending Tish from Little Wolf. Now, Tish is a booktuber who reads a wide range of books. Kind of like me, I guess, in the range aspect. She does read a lot of fantasy, but she also reads some fabulism, a little bit of literary fiction, horror, thrillers, contemporary, and she also reads quite diversely as well. Now, the one thing that always draws me to Tish and Tish's videos is her aesthetic. Not only is she stunning, but the way that her aesthetic, like her personal aesthetic, fits in with her video aesthetic, and then she has like kind of a dark matte look to her thumbnails, and it's all very dark academia, which as an aesthetic I absolutely love. And I also find her presence in her videos to be very calming and very relaxing. So if you guys would like to go check out Tish and you have not done so already, I would recommend that you go do that, and her link will be down in my description box. But that is about it for my reading rush vlog. Oh my god, I am so happy it's over, but as I mentioned, I have a guest for the next 3 days, so your girl's not getting any rest anytime soon. Thank you so much to everybody who has followed me on my reading rush journey this year. I hope you guys have enjoyed the daily vlogs and also following my progress. I hope you've enjoyed not only this vlog but this week, if you've made it this far. And my next video I think is actually going to be on Thursday. I think I'm skipping an upload on Tuesday because I don't have time to film the video that I wanted to film. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog if you made it this far. If you have, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna, and I will see you guys at some point in the future when it isn't the reading rush. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you're a go when nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.